It was a dark and stormy night in Bucharest, Romania. The rain beat against the windows of the house, and the wind howled like a banshee. Inside, Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan were sitting in the living room, watching TV while smoking cigars. Suddenly, there was a loud banging at the door. Andrew and Tristan looked at each other, puzzled. Who could it be at this time of night? Andrew got up and went to the door. He opened it a crack and peered out. He saw a group of men in black uniforms standing there. They were all armed with assault rifles. Andrew asked, "What do you want?" "We're here to arrest you," one of the men said. "You're under suspicion of rape, human trafficking, and forming an organized crime group." Andrew's eyes widened. "That's ridiculous," Andrew said. "I'm innocent." The man said, "We'll see about that. Step aside." Andrew reluctantly stepped aside, and the men filed into the house. They searched the house, but they didn't find anything incriminating. Then, they turned to Andrew and Tristan. "You're both under arrest. You have the right to remain silent." Andrew and Tristan were handcuffed and taken away. The story of Andrew Tate and his brother is a cautionary story about the dangers of false accusations. It is also a reminder that even the most innocent people can be caught up in the criminal justice system. The police seized a fleet of luxury cars from the compound, including a Rolls-Royce Wraith, a McLaren 765 LT, and a Mercedes-Benz S63 AMG. They also seized 14 luxury watches, cash in multiple currencies, and other valuables. The total value of the assets seized was estimated to be $3.9 million. The police said that the assets were being seized to cover the expenses of the investigation and compensation for victims. Tate was taken to jail, where he awaited trial. He was confident that he would be acquitted, but he knew that the charges could ruin his life. He was also worried about his family and friends, who were being harassed by the media. As the trial approached, Tate's lawyers began to uncover evidence that he had been framed. They found witnesses who could testify that the women who had accused him were lying. They also found evidence that the Romanian authorities had been corrupt in their investigation. One of the witnesses that Tate's lawyers found was a former BBC employee. The witness testified that she had been pressured by her superiors to write a negative story about Tate. She said that she had been told that the story was part of a conspiracy to discredit Tate and silence his critics. One of the most important pieces of evidence that Tate's lawyers found was a wiretap transcript. The transcript showed that two women who had accused Tate of sexual assault were in contact with a man who was believed worked for the Department of Defense in the past. The man was offering them money to accuse Tate of sexual assault. Another witness that Tate's lawyers found was a former MI6 agent. It is believed that there was a plot to plant evidence in Tate's house and to pay off the women who had accused him of sexual assault. The evidence that Tate's lawyers uncovered was damning. It showed that he had been the victim of a conspiracy by powerful forces. He became convinced that he had been targeted because of his outspoken views. He believed that the BBC, MI6, and the Gates Foundation were all part of a global conspiracy to silence him. He also believed that Pfizer, the pharmaceutical company, was involved in the conspiracy because he had criticized the company's COVID-19 vaccine. Tate began to speak out about his beliefs on his podcast and on social media. He attracted a large following of people who believed that he was telling the truth. He also became a target of harassment and threats. Tate is now free, but he is still fighting for justice. He believes that he was framed by people who worked for the most powerful organizations. He is determined to find out who was behind the frame-up and to bring them to justice. The case against Andrew Tate is a complex one, and it is still unfolding. However, the evidence that Tate's and his lawyers have uncovered is strong, and it suggests that he was framed by people who worked for the most powerful organizations. If Tate is able to prove that he was framed, it would be a major scandal. It would also raise serious questions about the integrity of the Romanian authorities. The case against Andrew Tate is a reminder that even the most innocent people can be framed and falsely accused. It is also a reminder that the truth can be difficult to find, especially when powerful people are involved. Tate's story is a reminder that even the most controversial figures can have a positive impact on the world. He has helped to start a conversation about important issues, and he has inspired many people to think critically about their beliefs. It is also a reminder that we should not be afraid to speak our minds, even if our views are unpopular.